And so when Dion got the job, my take is he'll make them interesting and he'll recruit. But I wonder if he's doing a disservice to his son. So he's talked about this whole my son doesn't want to play in cold weather. Well, shit, in January, take out Miami and domes. 27 of the 32 teams are cold.
Incoming. Welcome to the future of Colorado football.
Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger, and you know how we do. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment section and tell me your thoughts on this video. That's the only way we can fight the algorithm, man. Gotta hit the like button. Gotta leave the comments down there so we can talk about it. And that helps us spread the video throughout the YouTube sphere. You know what I'm saying? And share it with your people if you feel like it. But do what you do. And as usual, Deion Sanders is E.F. Hutton. And when he talks, every freaking body listens and has something to say. And today, it's Colin Cowheard, Mr. Flip Flop himself. So, we know what Prime said. So let's see what kind of flip-flopping we got from Colin.
And so when Dion got the job, my take is he'll make them interesting and he'll recruit. But I wonder if he's doing a disservice to his son. So he's talked about this whole my son doesn't want to play in cold weather. Well, shit, in January, take out Miami and domes. 27 of the 32 teams are cold. It's there's more, Detroit, thankfully, is in a dome, and Minnesota's in a dome. But there's just a lot of cold weather football. I mean, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Patriots, the Seahawks for a while. The Niners can be very cold in January, December. They've dominated most of the last 25 years of NFL football, 27 years. Pittsburgh. I think Shedeur Sanders is really interesting. I wouldn't take him over Caleb or Drake May, but I do think there's an argument I could take him over Jaden Daniels. When his dad says there may be an Eli Manning situation, boy, my takeaway is Elway was probably the greatest quarterback prospect ever. That's why he's even referenced today. Eli Manning's brother, Peyton, won the MVP the year he's coming out. So there's here we go. Peyton now is the best young quarterback. Let's get his brother. There was a lot of leverage. Does Shedeur Sanders, even with Dion as a dad, have any leverage to do that?
Well, I think both those guys said it when they were established as the number one pick going into the draft. This guy still has another year of college where, let's face it, anyone that watched the second half of Colorado football, it was a fucking disaster.
His last 4 games, he had 6 touchdowns.
He was not very good. Now, his first couple games were pretty remarkable. It fell off a cliff. Obviously, it doesn't take, an NFL scout to watch his physical talents, right? He can run. He's got a big arm. But by no means, if you just polled NFL GMs that watched him on tape, would they say he's some lock top pick? Dion's one of the greatest prospects of all time as well. And he was in one of the great drafts with like Barry Sanders and Jim Kelly. I forget exactly. No, that was way before him. But whoever his draft was incredible. Derek Thomas. And I remember Dion had a famous story about someone wanted him to take a cognitive test. And he asked him what pick you're taking. It was like the Giants, and they were ninth. He's like, I'm not going to be there. I mean, Dion had a lot of leverage because he was an all-time great prospect. Let's just let us see how these guys. We don't even know what position Travis Hunter is going to play. Is he a DB or a wide receiver? Right? I mean, he eventually has to establish a position to play in the NFL. He's not going to go both ways. So to put this pressure, and I understand he's like a father. He basically is a father to Travis as well. I have no problem having confidence. Like, these guys are going to be great NFL players. He's going to have a big season. But to make that statement already, let's face it, kind of puts a bad taste into everyone's mouth coming in there. Because like you said, one, you end up, whether you're playing in LA, San Francisco, or Green Bay, you end up playing cold weather games all the time, right? With cross rivals, even teams in your own division end up being cold. The playoffs turn cold on the road. He plays in Colorado right now. It's not warm. What's the weather right now in Denver? Probably like 35, 40 degrees. So I understand that. He's a Texas, Florida guy. But this guy's not Caleb Williams or Trevor Lawrence. Like, not everyone's universally agreeing that he's some elite player.
Elway, Luck, Trevor, and Caleb going into the season were a unanimous MVP. Shedeur isn't. I think people forget this. If you take Jordan Addison out of the equation. SC, Pittsburgh to SC to the Vikings. The last 2 years, without an elite offensive teammate, he had 93 touchdowns, Caleb Williams, and 10 picks. Those are, and this year was the best the Pac 12's been in my adult life. I mean, it was really as good. I mean, Arizona was good. I mean, Oregon, Washington, it was excellent.
Washington State was solid. Cal was frisky.
Yeah, so it's like, guys, come on, what are we talking about here? Utah's always good. So I can like Shedeur Sanders. I don't think he's close to the power thrower of Caleb Williams. I mean, and both had bad offensive lines this year. Look at the numbers. I mean, down the stretch, Shedeur, and I liked him against TCU. The more I saw of Shedeur, the less I liked him. That's probably what
Yeah, I mean, I think if you had to go off today, Travis Hunter is a better prospect than Shedeur Sanders. Now, obviously, that can change, and he plays the most important position. But there are going to be a lot of, I mean, there were a lot of eyeballs on him, at least early. Once they started being terrible, people, fell off. But I think this year, and it's going to be fascinating. Let's face it, he plays in a crappy conference. I mean, I would imagine the Big 12 of now the four, the Big 10 and the SEC. I would say the ACC is going to be viewed as better than the Big 12 going into the season. So when it all said and done, what if he's kind of playing nobodies and he's not that great again? I mean, are we talking about some for sure top 10 pick? I'm not saying that he could be the number one pick, but he also could be a second round pick. I mean, there's just no, I would not put the rubber stamp right now. He is some lock top 10 pick. That's just not the way it works. And things change. Think how often JJ McCarthy wasn't viewed as a top 10 pick coming into the season. Hell, even after the season, I don't think universally the average person would be like, that's a top 10 pick. Now he's going to go like top five. Jaden Daniels kind of had the Joe Burrow ascension. No one was talking about that guy. Wins the Heisman. Now he's talked about as Bo Nix. I mean, things change very rapidly in football with the prospects at the quarterback position. So if they're going to talk a big game, which Deion does, because Deion can back it up, I think sometimes he talks for his kids. And, last year, that Colorado State situation, talking before the game, before what happened? Well, his best player got destroyed, ruptured a kidney, and like almost died on the field. So Deion's coach now, right? He's not the player. So you put this added pressure on him, and he'd say, well, they have pressure no matter what because of my name. And that's true. But I think this is another level. I mean, that's going to be a major talking point all next fall.
Yes, Prime can talk for his kids. That's the whole point. Prime gets to say the things that they might want to say, but he won't let them say them. So he can take the bullets. He gets to take the hit. That's called being a coach and a father. But y'all didn't have no problem when Archie Manning was out there talking about my son ain't going to San Diego because they suck. He going other than that. But you had no problem with us doing that. Y'all forgot. Bo told everybody not to draft him because he was going to play baseball. And he did that. Bo told Tampa Bay, don't draft me. I'm going to play baseball. They drafted him number 1 overall. Bo sat out and went and played baseball for the Kansas City Royals. But it is what it is. Y'all act like Prime don't walk what he talk. He walks his walk and he talks his talk. He does what he's supposed to do. He takes the hits for the kids. But anyway, man, we out of here. Y'all like, subscribe, leave your comments. We out. Peace.
Thank you. God bless you all, man. Be safe.